Hello again. Welcome back to Grammarville. Today's lesson will be about irregular verbs. In English, there are three commonly conjugated verb forms: the infinitive or simple present, the simple past, and past participle. In Swedish, these are called infinitiv or grundform, imperfect, and perfect participle. The difference between a regular and an irregular verb is that regular verbs end with ed in simple past and past participle, while irregular verbs have different endings altogether. Let's look at an example. Ask, asked, asked. As you can see, in the last two verb forms, ed has been attached at the end of the verb. If we choose an irregular verb like see, saw, seen, there is no pattern to the ending when moving from one verb form to another. This means that we have to learn as many of the irregular verbs as possible and how they are conjugated in different verb forms. But how do we know which verb form to use? Here are just a few simple rules that apply to both regular and irregular verbs. The first verb form, infinitive, is used when something is happening in the present, or if something occurs on a regular basis. For example, I ride horses in my spare time. Since this is something that happens repeatedly, we use the first verb form. Also, there can be markers that indicate the use of the first verb form. The most common ones are to and did. If you see the word to in front of a verb, then it is always written with the infinitive form. Also, if you can put to in front of a verb, it is taken from the first column. Another indicator is the word did. If you ask a question like, "Did you watch the football game last night?" you can see that the verb watch is in the infinitive. That is because of the word did. The second verb form, simple past, is used when something has already happened. It could be yesterday, last week, last month, 2 minutes ago, etc. For example, yesterday I brought flowers to my mother on Mother's Day. Since this is something that occurred in the past, we use the verb form from the second column. The third verb form, past participle, is also used when something has taken place in the past. The difference is that here you have three markers: have, has, and had. For example, have you seen the new Star Wars movie? In this example, you can see that the verb is chosen from the third column, and that is because of the indicator, have. There are many things that Swedish people in particular find difficult when deciding what verb form to use. One of the most common mistakes has to do with translation. For example, did you see the football game last night? The Swedish translation is såg du fotbollsmatchen igår kväll? In English, the verb see is in the infinitive because of the marker did. But in Swedish, we use the simple past, såg. So be careful and make sure that you do not fall into any translation traps. Well, this is it.
created using Powtoon.